A Course in Miracles, Lesson 157. Into His presence would I enter now. This is a day of silence and of trust. It is a special time of promise in your calendar of days. It is a time heaven has set apart to shine upon and cast a timeless light upon this day when echoes of eternity are heard. This day is holy, for it ushers in a new experience, a different kind of feeling and awareness. You have spent long days and nights in celebrating death. Today you learn to feel the joy of life, echoes of eternity. This is not just another sunrise on another forgettable morning. This is a hush falling over the soul, a moment set aside by heaven itself. Not by clocks or calendars, but by eternity, pressing gently against time, asking it to be still. It is a sacred interruption. Like silence walking into a noisy room, not to scold the noise, but to reveal that something deeper has always been there beneath it. This day is not like the others, because today you are not chasing answers. You are receiving presence. It's the difference between banging on the gates of heaven and realizing they were never locked. Echoes of eternity aren't ghost sounds from some faraway heaven. They're the deep, resonant reminders within your mind of what has always been true. They sound like sudden peace when you expected anxiety, like stillness that doesn't demand anything from you, like a memory you didn't know you remembered whispering, "You were never alone." The Course says you have spent long days and nights celebrating death. That's not a metaphor for funerals. It's about your allegiance to fear, time, suffering, and ego drama. It's the way we rehearse loss, decorate separation, and call it normal life. But today is not a funeral. Today is a birthday, not of a body, but of an awareness. Today, you learn to feel the joy of life. Not the life that ends, but the life that can't. The one that was never born and never dies. This day is not about fixing the world. It's about remembering the world was never the cause. This is the kind of holy day where silence becomes a teacher. And trust becomes the bridge between what you thought was real and what is eternally true. You're not here to make noise today. You're here to hear what was always singing beneath it all. The echo of eternity. The sound of home. The voice of God saying, "In my presence, you have never left." This is another crucial turning point in the curriculum. We add a new dimension now, a fresh experience that sheds a light on all that we have learned already and prepares us for what we have yet to learn. It brings us to the door where learning ceases, and we catch a glimpse of what lies past the highest reaches it can possibly attain. It leaves us here an instant, and we go beyond it, sure of our direction and our only goal. The door where learning ends. This is another crucial turning point in the curriculum. Not because the words change, but because something inside you becomes still enough to finally listen. We add a new dimension now. Not more facts, but a fresh experience. Not more content, but more contact. Something begins to dawn that no classroom could teach and no teacher could grade. This experience doesn't erase what you've learned, it illumines it. It turns past concepts into stepping stones, not conclusions. This light doesn't ask you to abandon what you've studied. It simply shows you why you studied it in the first place. And then, it turns your gaze forward, to what no course can teach, but every course must point to. It brings us to a door. Not a metaphorical one, but a real shift in awareness, where words fade and presence speaks. Learning cannot pass through this door. It bows and steps aside. And in the stillness of that surrender, we catch a glimpse of something unspeakably holy. This is the sealing of the curriculum, but not the sealing of you. You are not limited by your learning. You are carried past it for just an instant. And that instant rewrites everything. We don't linger at the threshold today. We go beyond it. Not with doubt, but with direction. Not with effort, but with clarity. There is only one goal now. To know what can never be taught. To be what can never be lost. Today it will be given you to feel a touch of heaven, though you will return to paths of learning. Yet you have come far enough along the way to alter time sufficiently to rise above its laws and walk into eternity a while. This you will learn to do increasingly, as every lesson, faithfully rehearsed, brings you more swiftly to this holy place and leaves you for a moment to yourself. Bending time, touching eternity. Today it will be given you to feel a touch of heaven. Not through achievement, but through willingness. Not because you earned it, but because you stopped trying to. It's not a permanent stay just yet, but it is a touch of the eternal. And even though you will return to passive learning, to words, concepts, and daily form, it won't be the same. Because something holy will have brushed against your awareness. And once eternity touches you, even lightly, time begins to loosen its grip. It says, you have come far enough along the way to alter time sufficiently. What does that mean? It means the more your mind aligns with truth, the less you are governed by illusions of time. You alter time not by changing the clock, but by changing the purpose of the moment. A moment given to God is not measured by time. It becomes timeless. When your mind is still, the past and future dissolve, and the present becomes a doorway, not a prison. You rise above the laws of time, the laws of aging, of loss, of cause and effect in the body. The ego believes in decay, delay, and distance. But in eternity, there is no waiting, no wearing down, no winding clocks. To rise above time's laws is to recognize, I am not bound by what the world believes. And in that awareness, you walk into eternity for a while. Not as a body, but as a witness of light. This is not fantasy. It is an experience that comes from faithful rehearsal of each lesson. Faithfully rehearsed doesn't mean perfectly understood. It means practiced with trust. Each lesson, when received with sincerity, builds a ladder out of time. And every rung takes you closer to the holy place where the self is remembered. What is this holy place? It's not a temple of stone. It's the awareness that you are not the ego. It's the still center of your being, where the voice of separation goes silent. It is you, but not the you thought you were. It is the capital S self, changeless, whole, eternal. And for a moment, the world will leave you. And you will stand alone with God. Not lonely, but alone with wholeness. And in that holy instant, the truth will not need to be explained, because you will feel it. He will direct your practicing today, for what you ask for now is what He wills. And having joined your will with His this day, what you are asking must be given you. Nothing is needed but today's idea to light your mind and let it rest in still anticipation and in quiet joy, wherein you quickly leave the world behind. The will that asks and gives. He will direct your practicing today, not as a supervisor, but as your own right mind, gently returning you to peace. For what you ask for now is what He wills. And He has been waiting for this harmony. Your will and His finally speaking with one voice. You're not begging anymore. You're remembering. You're not trying to get something from God. You're letting go of what blocks you from knowing He already gave it. Today, your will is not at war with love. There's no friction, no resistance. It's like two rivers merging into one current, strong, quiet, unstoppable. And once your will is joined with His, what you are asking must be given, not as a reward, but as a reflection. Not because you performed well, but because you finally stopped pretending you were separate. Nothing is needed but today's ideal to light your mind. This ideal isn't a concept, it's a frequency. A radiant stillness that makes seeking unnecessary. You don't have to strain for joy. You let it arrive, like morning light on open curtains. You let your mind rest in still anticipation. And that word, still, is everything. Not anxious anticipation, not bargaining, just quiet joy. The kind that doesn't need proof. The kind that makes the world feel far away, not because it was pushed, but because it was released. In this resting, you quickly leave the world, not through death, but through awareness. The body stays, but your allegiance shifts. And the world loses its grip on your attention, because your mind is resting in God. From this day forth, your ministry takes on a genuine devotion and a glow that travels from your fingertips to those you touch and blesses those you look upon. A vision reaches everyone you meet and everyone you think of or who thinks of you. For your experience today will so transform your mind that it becomes the touchstone for the holy thoughts of God. The touchstone of God. From this day forth, your ministry takes on a genuine devotion. Not a job, not a performance, but a quiet devotion that needs no explanation. This is no longer a role you play, it's a light you are, and it glows, not metaphorically, but truly. That glow travels from your fingertips to those you touch, and it blesses those you look upon. You don't have to know their name. You don't have to give advice. Your very presence becomes a healing, not because of your strength, but because of your surrender. A vision reaches everyone you meet, and everyone you think of, and everyone who thinks of you. Because your experience today radiates far beyond what you see, you become a tuning fork for truth. A quiet resonance that reawakens the memory of God in those around you. And now this line, this jewel. For your experience today will so transform your mind that it becomes the touchstone for the holy thoughts of God. What is a touchstone? It's the stone they use to test gold. You rub the metal on the stone, and if it leaves the right mark, you know it's pure. You are that stone now. Not the one being tested, but the one revealing what's real. The mind that remembers God becomes the standard. Not to judge, but to reflect. If someone brings their thoughts to you, your peace becomes the streak that shows, this is of God, or this is not. Not through words, but through the markless mark that only love can leave. No stain, no effort, just the unmistakable trace of truth. And this touchstone lives in you now. Because today, you remembered who you are, and that memory shines through everything you touch. Your body will be sanctified today, its only purpose being now to bring the vision of what you experience this day to light the world. We cannot give experience like this directly, yet it leaves a vision in our eyes which we can offer everyone, that he may come the sooner to the same experience in which the world is quietly forgot and heaven is remembered for a while. The sanctified body. Your body will be sanctified today. Not made holy because of what it is, but because of what it is now used for. The body is neutral. It means nothing by itself. But when the mind is clear, the body becomes a mirror of light. Sanctified doesn't mean glorified. It means purified of false purpose. It means its only function now is to carry the light, not block it. Its only purpose now is to bring the vision of what you experienced this day to light the world. You had a touch of heaven. You remembered something eternal. And now the body becomes the lantern, showing others there is another way to see. We cannot give experience like this directly. You cannot transfer an experience like a file. You can't force someone into stillness. You can't package God. But you can carry a vision that was born from that experience. And that vision lives in your eyes now. Not literal eyes, but perception cleared of fear. You look upon your brother and no longer see a body. You see the light behind the mask. And that vision is what you can offer to everyone. You don't have to preach it. You just have to be it. And as you offer that vision, you speed their path to the same experience. Not because you gave them your memory, but because your peace made theirs more available. And in that holy moment, the world is quietly forgot. No judgment, no past, no plans. Just the hush of heaven returning to awareness. And heaven is remembered for a while, not forever, not yet, but for a while, long enough to know it was never lost. And that is enough to change the purpose of everything. Even the body, even time, even what you thought was you. As this experience increases and all goals but this become of little worth, the world to which you will return becomes a little closer to the end of time, a little more like heaven in its ways, a little nearer its deliverance. And you who bring it light will come to see the light more sure, the vision more distinct. The time will come when you will not return in the same form in which you now appear, for you will have no need of it. Yet now it has a purpose, and will serve it well. The disappearance of the image. As this experience increases, all goals but this become of little worth. Not because you're rejecting the world, but because you're remembering something far more real. It's like tasting pure water after drinking illusions for years. Nothing else satisfies. The world to which you will return becomes a little closer to the end of time. Not the end of days, but the end of illusions. Time begins to lose its meaning when truth begins to shine through it. The world becomes a little more like heaven in its ways, not perfect, but touched, not erased, but reinterpreted. You walk among illusions, but you no longer believe in them. And because of that, the world moves a little nearer its deliverance. Because you carry deliverance within your mind. And you who bring it light will come to see the light more sure. Your confidence grows. Your inner compass steadies. The vision becomes more distinct, not through effort, but through trust. What once was cloudy becomes clear. What once was hidden is now seen everywhere. And now this turning point arrives. The time will come when you will not return in the same form in which you now appear, because the form was never the truth. And once truth is remembered consistently, the costume is no longer needed. This is not death, it's awakening. You won't need the body, not because you've escaped it, but because it's been outgrown. Like a shell that once served but is no longer required. Yet now it has a purpose, and it will serve it well. It will be used by Spirit to carry the light, to teach peace without words, to show the unreality of separation, until the time comes to lay it down in perfect joy, not as loss, but as completion. And you'll know when, because there will be no fear, just light, just the real you without disguise. Today we will embark upon a course you have not dreamed of. But the Holy One, the giver of the happy dreams of life, translator of perception into truth, the holy guide to heaven given you, has dreamed for you this journey which you make and start today. with the experience this day holds out to you to be your own. The happy dream. Today we will embark upon a course you have not dreamed of. Because what awaits you today didn't come from your imagination. It didn't arise from ego's fantasies of gain or loss. This dream is not yours in the making. It is a gift in the receiving. It was dreamed for you by the Holy One. And this one is not a distant deity, but the voice for God in your mind. The Holy One is the giver of the happy dream of life. So what is this happy dream? The happy dream is still a dream, but it is no longer used for guilt. It is perception corrected. A world still seen, but now interpreted through forgiveness. In the nightmare, you were a body under attack. In the happy dream, you are a light that cannot be harmed. In the nightmare, you were alone. In the happy dream, you are joined, upheld, and never without purpose. This dream does not promise pain or death. It promises peace. Not because the world has changed, but because the purpose has. And the Holy One is the translator of perception into truth. He doesn't force truth upon illusion. He translates what you see into what it's for. Pain becomes a call for love. Conflict becomes an opportunity for peace. Loss becomes a reminder that nothing real can be taken from you. And the holy guide to heaven, given to you, has dreamed for you this journey. You didn't plan the way, but you're finally willing to walk it. And you start today. Not with analysis, not with perfection, but with experience. The kind of experience that opens your heart and silences your defenses. This day holds out that experience to you, not as a test, but as a gift. Be your own. Claim the experience. Take your place in the dream God has gently reauthored on your behalf, and let the nightmare end without a fight. Into Christ's presence will we enter now, serenely unaware of everything except his shining face and perfect love. The vision of his face will stay with you, but there will be an instant which transcends all vision, even this, the holiest. This you will never teach, for you attained it not through learning. Yet the vision speaks of your remembrance of what you knew that instant and will surely know again. Beyond vision, into knowing. Into Christ's presence we will enter now. Not later. Not after more work or worthiness. Now. We enter not as bodies, but as awareness. Serenely unaware of everything except his shining face and perfect love. But remember, Christ is not a body. This is not a man's face. This is the symbol of the formless, the radiance of perfect love without form, a presence beyond personality, a light that recognizes itself in you. The vision of his face will stay with you. It is the memory of oneness translated into image, so the mind can approach it gently. But there will be an instant which transcends all vision, even this, the holiest. Even the vision of Christ is still within the realm of perception. And perception, however healed, is not reality. This instant of transcendence cannot be taught. You cannot learn it, because you never lost it. You didn't earn this moment. You remembered it. And that remembrance is what will guide you back again and again. The vision speaks your remembrance. It says to the mind, you knew this once. You know it still. And you will surely know again. Because truth is not a visitor, it is your home. And this journey was never about reaching somewhere new. It was about remembering what always was. Christ's face, God's love, yourself, they are not separate. They are one. And now you know, if only for an instant. That is enough. That is everything. And that's lesson 157, mighty companion. The happy dream, the touchstone, the sanctified body, the shift in time, the face of Christ. All of it was pointing to the stillness behind the seeing. Any time you forget, remember, you were already there. And that's why you will return.